What's up, guys? Thank you again for joining me for bobK0T0R's Gaming News. Today, I'm here to talk to you about Sony announcing brand new PlayStation 4 titles the night before the PlayStation 4 launches, Infinity Ward being accused of reusing certain animations in Call of Duty Ghosts, and Konami announcing brand new details about the release of Metal Gear Solid 5. So for my first story of the day, Sony, GameTrailers.com, and Spike TV are all teaming up for a press event for the PlayStation 4 called PlayStation 4 All Access. Greatness awaits. Now, at this press event, they're going to be talking about brand new PlayStation 4 games that are set to be released and announcing a bunch more new ones on top of that. So, this will be a pretty huge event to watch, especially if you're interested in the PlayStation 4 at all. And now the interesting part about it all is the fact that it's going to be taking place on November 14th at 11 p.m. Eastern. So that's 1 hour before the PlayStation 4 releases in North America. Meaning that if you wanted to get a glimpse of what you're going to be looking at or what you might be looking at if you're still planning on getting a PlayStation 4, it might be worth the watch. Hopefully I'll be in line to get my PlayStation 4, but I digress. I'll put all the appropriate links in the info below, so if you wanted to watch it, you can. Again, it's going to be on tons of different ways to watch it. Ustream, you can go on GameTrailers.com, you can go on Spike TV if you have cable, so definitely a lot of different ways to go about it. But again, it starts at 11 o'clock Eastern on November the 14th. And for my second story of the day, Infinity Ward, makers of Call of Duty Ghosts, have already had to deal with enough flack as of recently, as this most recent Call of Duty Ghosts doesn't seem to be up to par with the rest of them. Now, I haven't played the game personally, I'm just going by reviews, previews, and comments made by friends and so on. But keeping that in mind, it's been recently posted on the web that they've reused certain animations from, in this case, Modern Warfare 2 in Call of Duty Ghosts. I'll put the particular video that I'm talking about in the description below so you can take a look, and it's actually a side-by-side comparison running at the same time, so it's kind of hard to deny. But yet again, in Activision and Infinity Ward's defense, you can't really blame them, considering you can go into most any annual franchise. You can see Battlefield, or you can see, especially Assassin's Creed, reusing a lot of the same animations, like the free running, the countering in Assassin's Creed, that sort of thing has all been reused. Madden Sports, football, whether it be NBA 2K or what have you, all reuse a lot of the same animations. It's a very cost-effective way to go about it. Some might call it lazy, considering how much money those games make, but you can understand where they're coming from as far as why they wouldn't want to start everything up from scratch again. Hopefully with the next gen around the corner, we won't be seeing that as much, but I'm also very interested to see what the next gen Call of Duty looks like. Because Ghosts obviously will most likely be more of the same that we have now, but who's to say how much more polish or that kind of thing might have gone into it. So that'll be releasing when the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One does, but I imagine as far as this particular game of Call of Duty Ghosts, it'll be more or less the same as this one, but maybe Treyarch's Call of Duty next year will be that much different. Or maybe the next Battlefield made by EA and DICE will be that much different than Battlefield 4. Who knows, though? Some people seem to believe this might be the end of an era for Call of Duty and Battlefield, as both games haven't really hit that mark that they were kind of expected to, but yet again, you can't really blame them for not hitting it, because this is also the year that Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. So leave that to what you will. But again, I'm just like I said in my first story here, very excited for the next gen. So most companies are probably holding out to bring out the big guns then. And for my last story of the day, Konami finally released. And my last story of the day, Konami finally released brand new details defining really the difference between Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. And now the difference being that Ground Zeroes is going to be a standalone prologue that you'd be able to purchase and play before the release of Phantom Pain to give you an idea of not only how the game's controls work and that kind of thing, but to get you a step forward into the story. And now you've seen other companies do this in the past, similar to Dead Rising 2, how they made Dead Rising 2 Case Zero, and that was a purchasable download that you were able to play and experience the character and the storyline and that kind of thing. And in Dead Rising, you were able to actually transfer that character in to Dead Rising 2. And also I remember Mass Effect 2 did a similar instance where it was just the free demo for the game, but any progress you made in the demo would carry over into the actual game. No word if there's any sort of carryover from the Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes into Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, but regardless, it'll be a good chunk of gameplay and storyline to get you ready for The Phantom Pain. Now, the one thing that I'm not exactly okay with, really, is the price point. Considering it is only a prologue, it's going to be $29.99 for PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 for a box, the actual case and everything for Ground Zeroes. And then if you wanted to download it on PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, it's only $19.99, which isn't nearly as bad. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, on the other hand, only have the ability to download, at least according to the blog post we have here, only available for download and $29.99 at that. Now, I understand, obviously, a next-gen game is going to take a lot more to make and that kind of thing, but harking back to what I just said a moment ago about Dead Rising 2 Case Zero, that was $5. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One prologues to their game is $30. Now, don't get me wrong. If this is, a 10 to 12 hour game with, in-depth storyline and that kind of thing, I'm all for it. But if I'm going to get a 2-hour experience for $30, that's going to be a problem. And now, again, I'm hoping I'm wrong when I'm assuming it's going to be only about a 2-hour experience. But yet again, this is the open world area that they want you to traverse and that kind of thing. So I imagine Konami believes you're going to be basically spending a lot of time just wandering around, seeing what you can do. That's half the fun of Metal Gear Solid anyways. But regardless, still something to think about. And they'll be releasing Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes in spring of this year. No hard date given as of yet, and still definitely no date on the Phantom Pain. But I know when I get my PS4, regardless of the price point, I'm still going to end up getting Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain because I'm a huge fan of the Metal Gear series. Always have been and always will be. And that's all the stories I got for you this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you had an opinion or a thought you'd like to share, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. If you liked this video, be sure to give it the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, or share it if you liked it that much. But I will see you guys again next week. Have a great night.